And welcome back. In my treacherously long commute to and from work, about an hour each way, I've really gotten into audiobooks, specifically books on tape. Yeah, I know Audible.com exists, and it's not that expensive to set up a subscription, but I find it more interesting to walk into a thrift store and look at what they have for audiobooks and plunk down $2 or $3 for some random audiobook from an author that I've never heard of, such as these two. The Robin Cook Shock and Seizure series, sequel and prequel, I would have never bought on Audible.com. I just happened to see it on the shelf and it was cheap and I bought it. And I am glad I did. It's a very interesting and very gripping story about bioengineering and cloning. And this series was actually written, I believe the book was written right around the time Dolly the sheep was cloned, I think in the early 2000s or late 90s. And if I remember reading a lot about that back then. And it was kind of interesting, kind of revisiting that moment in history when cloning was all the rage. It was on everyone's mind. And but I would have never bought this series on Audible or listened to it had I not, because I am one of those people who definitely judges a book by its cover. I also got into The Grapes of Wrath, which was a book that I never read in school, and thanks to the audiobook version, I was able to enjoy it over the course of about a week, and I'm better for it. Now, the cassette player that I was using for these has just finally died. I was using a 1987 Magnavox auto reverse, really nice cassette player, but it never sounded that great. The belt always slipped, and I actually tried replacing the belt, but I couldn't find the perfect size belt for it. I found one that was too thick, so I just won't get into it. But nevertheless, I was in the market for another cassette player. Now, I realized that, yes, I can download these on the internet, but it's not the same. It's really not. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it, but here on BBISHOPPCM's World of Obsolete Technology, Audible.com and MP3 downloads of audiobooks, just not going to happen. Not going to happen. So I went out and I bought myself a new cassette player. Brand new in package. Ready? Here it is. I bought this on eBay. I paid entirely too much for it. This is an RCA RP1868. Digital tuner, bass boost, had a really nice little unit. And I happen to know a lot about this, which is why I bought it, because I actually had owned this exact same player back in 1995 or 96. I want to say 96. Sounds about right. I actually owned 2 or 3 of these. When I was a kid, I listened to cassettes all the time. And, of course, FM radio. And I would walk to school every day, or sometimes I'd take my bicycle. And so I always had one of these strapped to my belt loop. And I honestly never thought I'd find this exact model. But so, yeah, I got my first one. My first portable cassette player from mowing lawns. I saved up my $5 a week is what I made mowing lawns. I wasn't a very good businessman. Still am, not today. But $5 a week, and it took me like a whole summer to save up for my very own portable cassette player. And I was so proud of myself when I finally went to Walmart and I bought this exact same unit sometime in 95 or 96. No, actually, yeah, it might have been 95, because in 96, 97 is when I got my first portable CD player, which was also an RCA. See, I wasn't a Sony kid because I couldn't afford Sony. I bought RCAs and Sanyos. That's what I could afford. But But yeah, when I found one of these on eBay, I had to have it. I'm like, wow, that's the exact same one I had. And I went through like 2 of these things, maybe 3 of them. And then I went to the Panasonics, which had auto reverse, and I couldn't find another one of those. But I went through 3 of those before I finally gave up on cassettes and went straight to CD. But we're going to open this thing up and see how it works. I have a really bad feeling that the belt is probably melted. If I recall, the one I had never had any problems of any kind, actually. It was pretty reliable. Aside from the headphone jacks, which constantly wore out, and I was constantly buying new units because of that reason. So let's just get on with it and open it up. Of course, it's a clamshell, so you can't, like, you know, open the box and seal it up later. It's kind of a one-shot deal. Alright. So this unit is probably a little over 22 years old maybe, if it's from 95 like I think it is. Now this is an older version of the unit that I had, and I can tell because the headphones are different. Mine had the more sleek styled headphones, and this one has the older style headphones from years gone by. You can see these headphones are that older style that you used to see back in the 1980s and early 90s. But the foam is still in pretty good shape. It's not crumbling, which is surprising. You'd think it would be really bad, and it smells foamy. Actually, it just smells kind of musty, like it's been in a basement. But yeah, the one I had actually had a plastic band and a more modern styled headphone, but the rest of it was exactly the same. And here it is. So yeah, I was looking specifically for a new old stock cassette player, but not one of the more recent models, which doesn't even have rewind. I wanted the full featured version from, you know, back when cassette players were popular, when they still had digital tuners and they still had, you know, some decent features like bass boost and or a 3-band equalizer. But alas, I wasn't so lucky. I did find the one that I had. It smells new. Still got the film on the display. Will that come off? Oh, I think it's going to come off. Yeah, it's old. Oh, it came off. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, it's weird having one of these in my hand again. I mean, I got, again, mine, I think it broke sometime in the late 90s, and I haven't seen one since. This model, anyway. Open it up. So, I gotta tell you, the cassette player that I had back then, it was with me 24 hours a day. I mean, I used it constantly. In car, everywhere we went in the car, I had my headphones on, and I was either cranking Pixies or Led Zeppelin, The Offspring. Those are the bands that I really liked. Green Day, of course. I was a 90s kid all the way. The battery compartment. Yeah, baby. It's got a day code of 3350M, and that is reflected on the back of this cardboard. Battery compartment foam is still intact, surprisingly. I wish I knew what the date code meant. That would be nice to know. But yeah, all I'm going to use this for is audiobooks. That's it, pretty much. That's all I need it for. I got some lithium batteries here somewhere. Put them aside just for this occasion. Oh, there they are. I wish I still had my tapes. I got rid of them years ago because I wasn't using them. And they were pretty much so yeah, I used cassette players well into about 2001, mainly because they didn't skip, and I couldn't really afford a CD player that had an anti-skip feature at the time, so yeah, that happened. We'll put the belt clip on. There's no copyright date anywhere on this unit, but there should be something in the owner's manual that signifies when it was made. Let's see if it turns on. It turns on! Oh, cool! Did I expect it not to? Well, yeah. So it has auto stop forward in play mode. It does not have auto stop on rewind or fast forward. Oh, it has it on fast forward. Okay then. But not rewind. The belts do feel really strong, so I'm not concerned about that at all. Sounds okay. Just like mine did. So when you put it on tape mode, the indicator shows. Then it's got a radio function. You hook it up to audio so we can hear it. I'm going to hook it up to my Bose speakers. Alright. Need to pick one of these audio tapes up. It's tape 1. Tape 1, side 1. We'll put it in there. Rewind. It's not rewound. Okay. Interesting, it even shows when the bass boost is turned on. Huh. On screen, I forgot it did that. While it's rewinding, let's take a look at the manual and see if there's anything indicating its age. So we've got the product registration card. I doubt that, I think this is Thompson Consumer Electronics. Oh, I remember this card being included in mine, my old one. The headphone use and care guide. It tells you all the dangers of headphones and it might kill you. Nice. Alright, here's the owner's manual. It looks like there is a revision date of 9252. Yeah, it smells kind of smells not kind of like perfumey and musty all in one. It's really a strange odor. But anyway, let's plug this in. Let's see how she sounds. Yep, Thompson Consumer Electronics. It works. Bass boost off.
Putnam Berkeley Audio presents
On.
Shock by Robin Cook. Read by Kate Burton.
It works. Let's hear the FM radio. Kind of curious. It has 5 presets. Oh, you have to yeah. Let's see. Let's try that again. Press memory and then the desired memory. And of course, whenever the batteries get changed out, you gotta do it all over again. Of course, there's too much interference. I'm not gonna get much of anything here. That's awesome. That's so cool. I finally have my childhood cassette player. It's such a great moment. That's kind of lame, I know, but what do you expect, right? But yeah, this is what I carried around with me on the bus, my bike rides and walks to and from school, car rides. I think when I first visited the White Mountains, I was with a friend of mine. We were both into the Pixies, which is an alternative rock band from the 1980s. In fact, they're still popular in some circles. But I think they're more of a punk rock genre now. I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, I listened to, I think it was Trompe Le Monde, which was one of their more popular albums, like 80 times on the way using this exact model cassette player. Good times, good memories. Yeah, Led Zeppelin I was really getting into Led Zeppelin back then, and Rush. So what I would do is I would make my own mixtapes on my my stereo in my bedroom, which was I think it was a Sanyo boombox, and I would borrow people's CDs, my friends' CDs, and I'd copy them to cassette, which was old school Napster. Wait, Napster's old school. What kind of old school piracy? That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. And that's how we rolled, and we would copy CDs to cassettes. We didn't have CD burners then. This was 1995, 96, 97, and nobody I knew owned a CD burner, so we did what we could with what we had. But here's the owner's manual. Really, really basic owner's manual. Not a lot of stuff in here. Not a lot of new information in this book. Stuff people already know. But yeah, I love this thing. This is so cool. Yeah, it does not have an auto stop. It doesn't say, let's see. It has automatic stop in play mode, but it doesn't say fast forward, but we just realized that it does actually work in fast forward. It even tells you how to clean the heads. Isn't that cool? Use a cotton swab. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's so awesome. That is so awesome. But I actually half expected it not to work. So what did I pay for this, for the privilege of owning one of these things, brand new in package? It cost me $40. I'll tell you, that's including shipping. $40 with shipping. I think the auction ended at $30, and it was $10 shipping or something like that. So yeah, a little much, but it's brand new in package. Probably not going to last all that long. And I say that because, again, it still has the original belt in it. But this was back when they made decent belts. So, I mean, nowadays they melt as soon as you get them out of the package. But yeah, oh, I just noticed something. This must be an early revision. And how can I tell that? Because there's a wire. I don't know if you can see this. I have a flashlight here. But there's a wire that runs adjacent or parallel to the ribbon cable going into the cassette mechanism door, which tells me that they made a mistake and they had to run another wire in there. Here, let me get the camera viewfinder pointed in the other direction. See if we can see that. That little red wire in there. That's an we screwed up wire. That doesn't belong there. They did that. It's basically a form of rework. They didn't draw the schematics up correctly, and the company who built the flex circuit cable didn't have updated information. Somebody screwed up, lack of communication, end of story. Somebody messed up. But hey, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I have this now. So I can enjoy my... I just bought a box set of Stephen King's Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I think it's Volume 2, and I haven't heard any of those yet, so I'm looking forward to this. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.